Hey guys, Eli here, and boy do I have a jam-packed video for you guys today, and today is going to be all about mindset. So some of the videos we're going to be going over today is why are the majority of Americans broke? Will the stock market crash? Why saving money is a bad thing? How I make $100,000 a year and live on 30? And how you guys can get to create wealth for yourself. So yes, this is a whole bunch of old content bundled up into one video, a little bit under an hour, but it's very jam-packed. And if I were you guys, I'll say take your notes out, take a pen and paper, because you guys are gonna get amazing information today. So I'm still on vacation, but I'm bundling a whole bunch of old projects while I'm working on some new projects for you guys. So hopefully you guys enjoy. Make sure you guys check out the Urban Wealth Creation Discord, where we have a mastermind community of like-minded people bouncing ideas off each other and helping each other grow, whether it be financially, precious metals, or any other aspect. And at the same time, if you're going to watch the whole thing through the end, I do want to say thank you very much. Thank you in advance. Even if you're only going to watch 5 to 10 minutes of it, I'm pretty sure you guys get some value off it too. But that's enough for me. I'm going to go ahead and enjoy my vacation. Hopefully you guys enjoy, and let's start now. So if this is your first time on this channel, you'd like to talk about finances and mindset, make sure you start now by hitting the thumbs up, hitting the subscribe button, hitting that notification icon so you guys get future notifications of my future video. Don't forget to leave a comment down below, and also check down the description below for some awesome free resources. And if you guys want to chat with me on the Wealth Creation Discord, the links are all down in the description below. And if you guys want to get access to my video courses, make sure you guys become a member of this channel so you can get access to thousands of dollars worth of information. Eli here, and on today's video, I want to talk about why the majority of Americans are broke. Now, this may be the most important video you ever watched, so make sure you watch to the end. So we all know the majority of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, and if an emergency comes, they don't even have nothing to cover it. So on this video, I want to talk about why, and believe it or not, the answer is very simple, and what can we do about it? So why is the majority of Americans broke? I mean, to be honest with you, the answer is simple. You ready for it? Come here. Get closer. I mean, come on, get a little bit closer. The answer is we have a spending problem. Yes, the average American may make about $35,000 a year, but that really doesn't matter if they spend $45,000 a year. And that is the most simple answer that I can give to you today. If you make $1 each and every month, and your expenses is just a penny, then you're rich. I mean, come on. I mean, you can live off $1. But if you make $1 and your expenses is $2, then you're broke. All right, so now that we got the answer, what is it that we can do about it? And to be honest with you, I believe it's not more of a, yeah, you can get a bigger income, but at the same time, it's the mentality, it's the habit that you have, it's the habit that you created thus far that got you where you are right now. So as long as nothing changes, nothing changes. Even if you get a higher job, what my mentor calls that is being broke at a higher level. If you make more money, now your habits are gonna have to align with that, since now, hey, I got more money, now I can add more stuff, okay? I make more money, now I can buy more coffee. I make more money, now I can get that TV. I make more money, now I can afford that car payment. So even if you make $1,000 raise, your habit, your mindset is gonna have to adjust because you haven't changed anything, mentally, of course. So I believe it's a mental balance, it's a mental work. Now, I'm gonna give you guys a very simple way of how to look at it. Instead of just looking at yourself as just one person that makes money, you have to look at yourself as a company. You have to be the CEO of You, Inc. All right, Eli, I was all in until you said that. Let's really think about it. At the end of the day, what does a company want? They want to make more profit so investors can be like, oh, look, this company's profitable. I want to invest some money into it so they can make more money so they can grow their business. Yeah, but Eli, nobody's going to invest in me. I'm not a company. Well, I thought you might say that. Let's really think about this even more. Do you ever plan on buying a house? Well, yeah. Do you plan on buying that house cash, or do you plan on borrowing that money? Well, of course I'm gonna have to borrow it. I can't come up with that kind of cash. So what you're saying is you want a lender to invest in you so you can buy that house, correct? Well, yeah. Oh, I see where you're going with this. Good. Now that I got your attention, if you want to borrow money, if you want to finance a car, if you want to finance a house, you want people to invest in you. The same way companies want people to invest in them. But let's be honest. If you are well-rounded into the stock market, you typically know you're not going to invest into a company if their revenues are going down, if they're not profitable, or you don't see any sort of future in that company, right? So you want to check their balance sheet. You want to see how they make their money. You want to know everything about the company, like as if you run it yourself. You want to make sure they have cash on hand. You want to make sure to see, hey, let's see what their short-term investments are. What are their long-term investments? What is their PE ratio? You want to know all the nooks and crannies of that company before you buy. And if you don't want to know, then typically you're just gambling in the company. Well, believe it or not, they do the same thing. If you go to a creditor, if you go to the bank and say, hey, listen, I need some money, they're going to look at you. All right, let me check your credit history. Let me see how much debt you have. Let me see your assets. All right, you own a mortgage. All right, cool. How much you paying on that? All right, let's see this. Before they invest in you, it's the same thing. But if we have the mindset of, hey, listen, let me see myself as a company and do what a company do to evaluate itself, then maybe, just maybe, you may have a chance, because now you switch the mindset. Instead of saying, hey, you know what, let me use that credit card to buy Nike and to buy shoes and clothes and stuff I really don't need and really has no financial benefit to my future, you may just say, hey, you know what, I'm my own company. How does this make my company do better in the long term? All right, I don't need Nike shoes. Matter of fact, hey, let me just buy a house, because in the future, the house may appreciate. So when I say view yourself like a company, here's what I mean by that. Apple, at the time of this recording, is one of the largest company in the world today, over $2 trillion market cap. If you look and study Apple's balance sheet, you'll see that they're loaded with cash, they are loaded with investment, short-term and long-term, and you can see their short-term and long-term debt as well, and you see that their cash overwhelms their long-term debt. So they have more cash than they do debt. Good, now that's Apple. Now let's take a look at you. How much cash do you have on hand? How much cash in investment, short-term or long-term, do you have on hand? How much debt do you have on hand? And do your debt outweighs the cash that you have? Okay, now let's say you do have debt. Is it good debt or bad debt? Is that debt tied in with the mortgage, or is that debt tied in credit card stuff that you just bought a whole bunch of? Maybe you bought the PlayStation 5, or maybe you bought the Xbox 350, whatever it is. I know it's 60, I just said 50. Whatever it may be, is it good debt or bad debt? When you really take a look at a company like Apple, you have to ask yourself, hey, every 3 months they have something called earnings call, where they say, hey, this is what I did last 3 months. This is the amount of money I brought in. This is the amount of debt we paid. This is the amount of revenue we had. And for the next 3 months, this is what we project to have. This is our guidance. Do you, as You Inc., do the same thing? All right, hey, the last 3 months, this is how much money I brought in, whether it be through a job or whatever it may be. This is how much money I brought in. This is how much money I invested. And the next 3 months, this is where I project. Listen to me, guys. I've been doing this for the past 3 months, and I see my money, my wealth grow exponentially. Hold on, give me one moment here. Exponentially. You know how when you say a word so many times, it sounds weird? Exponentious. I've seen my wealth grown tenfold. That's a better word. Let's stick with that one. Yeah, guys. Let's cut out that mistake I did last time and just keep that one. I'm always looking 3 months ahead. Hey, what can I invest in? Hey, what am I projecting to bring in? What is my wife's business projected to bring in? All right, what did we do past 3 months? And how can we further it along? Now, when a company's balance sheet is right, one of the things I look for in a company is, hey, if there's a recession that's coming or that came, like a pandemic, who knows, do this company have enough to survive? Within the past 6 months, there's been tons and tons of companies who had to get more debt just so they can keep their business running. And there's some companies that actually had to file for bankruptcy left and right. But there's some companies out there that had a huge amount of cash on hand to take care of this, and they just see this and like, oh yeah, cool, it's all right, don't worry, we're good. While me, thinking of me as a company, I made sure, hey, I had enough cash on hand, so when I did get furloughed, I was like, hey, this is sort of like a vacation for me. While some of my friends had to pray and hope for a stimulus check, me, my wife, and my family was okay. Now, one more thing I want to add to that. All right. If Apple, I like to bring this up as an example. I love using Apple as an example. If Apple only sold iPhones, do you think there'll be a $2 trillion market cap right now if all they sold was iPhones? They didn't have no iPads, they didn't have no iWatch, they didn't have nothing else. All they had was iPhones. do you think their stock or their company would be as big as it is today? Not even Apple. Let's just say, hey, if Facebook only stick to the social media platform, they didn't go ahead and got Oculus, they didn't go ahead and got WhatsApp, the Messenger app, and tons of other companies that they own, Instagram, would they still be as profitable? Would Facebook be as profitable as they are today? Let's go into Tesla. Yes, I know the stock is going down. That's not what I'm talking about. Tesla has the car, they have the Model S, they have the Model Y, but they don't just sell cars. They have solar panels. They have SpaceX, or is that part of Tesla? I'm not too sure. Any company that you may think of, they diversify their income. Walgreens has pharmacy and they have other stuff that they sell. They sell chips, they sell juices, they sell a whole bunch of stuff in Walgreens. Let's look at the company Foot Locker. They own Champs, they own GOAT, the app called GOAT where people can resell shoes on. They own that. Now, the point of me saying this, listen carefully here, the point of me saying this is right now in this investment world, if you're looking at a company, you want to make sure that they're not a one-trick pony. So how does this relate to you and You Inc. as the company? Yourself being the CEO of You Inc.? Let me tell you how. If you only have one source of income, if anything happens to that source of income, you're dead in the waters. If Apple only sold the iPhone, last year, I think they had a weakness in iPhone sales, but they had iPad sales, they had the watch, they had Apple services, they had Apple TV, they had so many services that they had money from that it really didn't matter that they had weak phone sales. So going back to you, if you only have one source of income and you're not diversified, you'll only go ahead and clock in. It doesn't have to even be them laying you off. What if you get injured? And yeah, of course, yeah, you got unemployment, but it's still one source. They're not gonna pay you the same amount as if you was physically healthy and there to work. So you always gotta figure out a way to diversify yourself. And Warren Buffett said, if you don't make money, if you don't figure out a way to make money while you sleep, then you will end up working until you die. So let me just wrap this up in a nice bow for you. What have we learned? We learned that, hey, you have to think of yourself in a different way. Of course, yeah, budget is key. Yes, you want to make sure that you have an emergency fund saved up, but it's all up here. View yourself as a company, know what you did within the past 3 months and project what you're going to do within the next 3 months, and don't just focus on one source of income. Diversify your income. Hey guys, Eli here, and on today's video, I'm going to answer the question that a lot of people have on their mind. Will the stock market crash? And the answer is yes. When will it happen? I honestly don't know. Well, should I be buying stocks now? Well, hopefully by the end of this video, I'll be able to give you a little bit of a better understanding and perspective, and you can make that decision on your own. For us to get a better understanding of the point I'm trying to portray to you guys, we have to understand something about humans. We evaluate everything from a risk-reward standpoint. Whether it be from you deciding to go to work, investing your money, or from a robber robbing a bank. We all evaluate everything from a risk-reward system, and we see what are the risks, we see what are the rewards, and then we find out, should we take the chance? Let me give you guys a couple of examples. What are the risk rewards of me going outside and getting robbed at gunpoint? The risks are not that high. So yeah, I'll take the chance, because the rewards is I'm coming home safe. What are the risks and rewards of me going outside contracting a virus? The risks are a little bit too high. Let's ask a different way. What if I wear a mask and gloves and I stay 6 feet away from people? Now, see, that's better. I'll take the chances. Now, the next example I'm about to show you is the number one reason a lot of people stay away from the stock market. What are the risks and rewards of me losing money short term in the stock market? See, the chances are 50-50 because I can lose money or I can gain money. Short term speaking, of course. Now, let's try asking a different way. What are the risks and rewards of me losing money in the stock market short term on a company that I fully did research on? Okay, a little bit better, but let me ask it in a different way. What are the risks and rewards of me losing money in the stock market in the long term on a company that I fully did research on? Okay. Now I like these odds better. Because see, time in the market is way better than timing the market. Now, let me give you another demonstration. Okay, so let's go to the 1980s. We have an investor called Warren Buffett, and he's looking at a company called Coca-Cola. And in 1980, he was able to buy shares of Coca-Cola for about $2, right? And we're going to take a price range from 1980s all the way to 2020. So let's say in 1980s, in between the 80s, he decided to buy a company called Coca-Cola, correct? Now, as we move forward, we can see Coca-Cola goes up and it goes a little bit down. Now, this is not an exact representation of what the stock has done. I'm just giving you an example. So let's say it went down and it went to $1, right? That was short term. But let's just say he held on, he kept on holding, which he did. And then fast forward to 2020, it has, the value is $248, right? Now, of course, not even talking about the crash of the 2000s and the Great Recession. We're not even talking about the crash that happened in 2020, right? Although those happened, those crashes did happen, and the stock may have gone down, but the fact that Warren Buffett stayed in the stock for a long period of time, it really didn't matter. He bought, like, let's say, 1 million shares at $2 a piece, right? And now the company is worth, one share is worth $248 currently. So let's say Warren Buffett, when he first bought in and the stock just went down, let's say it is no longer worth $2 a share, is worth $1 a share. He lost half of the value. He could have just said, hey, you know what? Oh my gosh, the market is crashing. Let me sell out now. Let me sell out now. But no, he didn't do that. He didn't do that. He held it long term because, like I said before, for the short term, you may lose money, but you make more money when you're playing long term. Okay, and that's what Warren Buffett did. And this is not even accounting the dividends that he's getting for all those years holding Coca-Cola stocks. All right. So just want to give you that example there. And even if the 2007 crash, it went down, let's say Coca-Cola was like at $50 a share. It was at 100 and went down to $50 a share. Like I'm saying, this is not a live example of what the stock did. I'm just giving you guys an example. So let's say it was at $100 a share in 2008. It went all the way down to $50 a share. Did Warren Buffett really lose money if all he paid was $2 a share? This is the mindset that I believe a lot of people must have. Now, if we're just waiting and just trying to time the market, then that's where we could potentially lose money. But if you fall in love with a company, you understand the company, you know the company, you did your research on the company, and you believe that this company has a bright future, and you said, hey, you know what, I'm going to be in the stock for the next 5, 10, 15 years because you believe in this company, your potential of actually making money is way better. Well, I believe a lot of people are looking at the stock market as one entity. And in all reality, it's more like a house with a whole bunch of companies in it. Some companies are doing good while some companies are not so good. And some companies have fair valuation. Some companies are a little bit rich. But I hear a lot of people saying, oh man, stay away from the stock market because the stock market is at its all-time high. You're buying at the top. It's going to crash. But on the other hand, there's tons of companies that are on their multi-year lows. And I mean companies with bright futures ahead of them. For the past 6 months, I've done so much research to look for companies that's been beaten down, but I believe their company is a great company and will rebound back. I mean, it's a term you guys probably never heard of. It's called buying low and selling high. And although I did take some profits on some of the stocks that I'm holding to put into different companies, which I believe have bigger futures ahead of them, I've been looking for companies with fair or below valuations. While everybody's looking at the entire market itself, I'm looking at the companies within the stock market to see, hey, where can I find the best deals? It's sort of like saying, hey, everything at this mall is entirely expensive and not expecting to find any items on sale. So to wrap it all up, if you're investing in the short term, the chances of you losing money is a bit higher than if you were just to hold on long term. And if you do the proper research on the company that you're looking into, your long-term results looks even that much more better, regardless if the markets crash or not. Guys, Eli here, and on today's video, we're going to be talking about why saving money will be your downfall. But first, let me ask you guys a question. What is this in my hand right now? A piece of paper. Correct. You're smart. I like that. I like that. You're smart. Now, would you give your life for that piece of paper? I mean, I know it sounds weird. Just answer the question. No, you wouldn't give your life for this piece of paper. I mean, come on. There's nothing but a piece of paper with some writing on it. Why would you give your life for that? The next part of the question. What is this in my hand? Some of you guys may say money, but you know what it is? It's also a piece of paper. Also a piece of paper. Now, another question. Would you give the life that you're living, for this piece of paper right now? No? But the fact is that we all do. We all do. Because that piece of paper has confidence behind it. People will accept it and give you something in exchange for it. That piece of paper is the number one tool that we all need to survive. So why is saving money such a bad thing? Because a lot of people are like, hey, you know what? You can invest into stocks and make money doing stocks. Of course, you can also lose money. There's a risk there. You know, putting into stocks. You can say, hey, you know what? Invest in real estate. But hey, you know what? We could be in a real estate bubble and you could lose money there as well. Well, you can even take that money and start up your own business. But at the same time, of course, some businesses fail within the first 5 years. So there's also a risk in that as well. So a lot of people are like, you know what? It's too risky. If I invest in the stock market could tank. If I invest into real estate, the real estate market could tank. If I invest in myself and create my own business, that can possibly fail as well. So what is it that I do? You know what? I'm not going to invest my money. I'm not going to do nothing with the money. You know what? I'm just going to save it, because there's no risk in saving money. See, and that's the whole problem. My mentor always taught me that money is the tool. All right. Money is a tool. You don't see a mechanic which gets his tool and be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to take my whole entire life and focus on this hammer, this ratchet, and all the tools that I need. Forget the cars. Forget the cars. I don't need the cars to fix them so I can actually make money to fix them. I'm just going to focus on the tool I need. And in this case, this life example, money is the tool, because you can take that money and get yourself entertainment, or you can take that money and get yourself more money with it. And also take that money and survive, because you're really going to need to survive. I mean, you're going to need food, you're going to need water, you're going to need a roof over your head. You're really going to need money. Money makes the whole world go round, right? But where the problem really lies is when you take that money and you save it, saying that, hey, there is no risk. Let's go back to this right here. This is about $100 in one. No, I'm not going to the strip club. No, that's not what this is for. All right. You have $100 in one right here in my hand. 5, maybe even 10 years ago. Right? 10 years ago, I was able to buy way much more. Not even just 10 years. Let's just say 5 years. I was able to buy way much more with this than I can currently today. Correct? But if I were to take $100 and I would have put it into a stock, or I would have put it into precious metal, or I would have put it into real estate, right? Like, what kind of real estate you know that you can buy for $100? But anyways, I digress. The value of this $100, had I put it in any of those asset class, would have been way more than just $100. Now, some of you guys may be asking, oh, why is that? Why is it way less than what it was 5 years ago? Because of inflation. Let's say you're a kid and your mom say, hey, I'm going to give you $1 right here. Here's your son. Here you go. Here's $1. And this dollar is going to have to last you for the whole entire week. Somebody say, hey, I got an ice cream here. It costs $1. I'm going to be like, you know what? Man, you know what? I only have this dollar. I got to stretch it for a whole entire week. I don't want that ice cream bar or ice cream cone or whatever the ice cream is. I don't want it because all I have is $1. Now, let's go back. Now, let's say next week, my mom say, hey, you know what? I'm going to give you $100. And this $100 is going to have to last you a whole entire week. Now I'm a little bit more, okay, cool. Like at first, the first week, I had to value this dollar. I really had to value, because I don't have that much of it. So I had to make sure it stretches. Hey, every penny has to be documented for me. But next week, I get $100. And I'm like, hey, you know what? Hey, you got ice cream? All right, I got 100. Let me get 4 ice cream cones right now. Come on, go ahead. Come on, give it to me. Yeah, good ice cream. So technically speaking, the more that I have of that one object, the less I value each individual object itself. So every time the government prints up money and adds money to the economy, the valuation of the dollars already in existence devalues. But we don't have to worry about that. I mean, the government is not printing money like it ain't nothing, right? Wait, what? They are? Oh, okay, scratch that. Forget everything I just said. The government are printing a lot and lots of money. So which means over time, we're gonna see a lot more inflation eating up the value of the dollar. So whatever I can buy for $100 today, 5 years, 2, 3, 4, 6 years from now in the future, it's gonna be a little bit more for me to actually buy whatever it is that I wanted to buy with that $100 today. So the reason savers are losers is because, hey, if I'm saving all the money I have, I'm losing money because I'm not doing nothing. It's just staying there and it's losing value. And remember, it's just a piece of paper. I don't care about the paper. What I'm caring about is the value that that paper has. How do I protect that value? So we have a couple of options. We have the stock market. No, man. I mean, the stock market is going to go down. We're in a hyper bubble. It's going to crash. Man, trust me, don't put your money in there. You're better off saving it. Well, okay, you also have the real estate market. Yeah, come on, man. Hell no. I mean, come on, nah. Real estate market is too much in the bubble right now. I mean, you're better off saving your money. I mean, don't buy no real estate. Well, okay. Then you can invest into other asset classes such as precious metals. Come on, man. You're kidding me? Precious metals, gold and silver. I mean, come on, nah. I mean, right now it's at its all-time high. If you're buying that right now, it's gonna crash down. I mean, come on, don't buy precious metals. They don't give you no dividends. They don't do nothing for you. Trust me, you're just better off saving your money. Okay, let's just go with that then. Saving your money, putting your money into a bank account and you just acquire interest. How much is the bank paying you again for the money you save? Come on, man. You know, the bank is paying me a high amount. They're paying me 0.00000000000000000000000000000. All right, let's just come back to him later. So pretty much the banks are paying you a tiny bit interest on your money, but inflation is getting eaten up 1, 2, maybe even 3%. And with the new federal rules, I mean, they may even go above 2% inflation. So what you're saying is the money that you get up and work for each and every day, whether you're tired, stick through traffic, doing all that hard manual labor work, sweating, and doing all that mental fuss that you guys have to go through each and every day, each and every week, each and every month, and each and every year, and you're losing value on the work that you're putting in today. I mean, do we not have one life to live? Whatever happened to YOLO? 0.00000000000. You're still going? All right. Pretty much, if you're saving money, you are guaranteed to lose money. But if you put it in the stock market, let's see, what's the history of the stock market here? If you look through this point in time, all the way up to this point in time, you'll see that the market rised. And some of it is due to companies' valuation. Some of it is due to the inflation of the dollar. Now, if you back that with the right research in certain companies that you fully research and understand, then your chances is actually even higher of making money, regardless if the stock market crashed or rised. And the same thing could be said with real estate and other assets. I don't know about Bitcoin yet because there's not that much history with Bitcoin. What you think? 0.000000000. So we have a choice to make. You can look into the stock market, and of course it can be risky. You can lose money or you can gain money. You can look into real estate, and of course it's risky. You can make money or lose money. Or you can look into other assets class, and the choices remain the same. You can either make money or lose money if done right, if you do the proper research and understand when is the right time to buy. Not saying exactly time the right time to buy. I'm just saying understand where's the ballpark of where's the right time to buy. And yes, some of the risk you can control. But me personally, I'll much rather take my chances with these than the opposite side, where I have no control. Inflation is going to happen whether I'm here, whether I'm not. It's going to happen to the dollar. And you can save it, but just understand the ultimate, there's no upside. There's no upside. The only upside is, hey, if you have an emergency, hey, you got some cash around to take care of the emergency. Yeah, that's a good upside. And that's why I like to say your savings should not consist more than 6 months to a year of your living expense, just in case anything happens. But outside of that, if you're like, hey, you know what, I'm just gonna save my way to $1 million, good luck. 0.0000000.1% of my money. All right, wrap up the video. Sometimes last year, I made a video stating that I make $100,000, me and my wife combined, of course, and we live off 30,000. A lot of people was like, oh my gosh, that's impossible. How is that you can do that? Well, on today's video, I'm gonna show you exactly step by step. Well, not exactly step by step. I'm gonna show you guys all the numbers on how I'm able, well, not just me, how me and my wife are able to live off $30,000. Question of the day. Are you guys able to take your finances and budget so strict that you can live off $30,000 a year? Some of you guys just may say, hey Eli, I blow past that. Well, just comment down below. Let me and the community know. So you guys may be asking, Eli, why do you save so much and why do you live off so little? Are you a minimalist? The word escaped me. Minimalist? You know how you say something so much it kind of sounds weird? Yeah, that's what's happening. But you guys know what I'm trying to say. No, I am not that. Yeah, I'm not that at all. But what I realize is I want to be able to invest as much as possible and put my money into different places like real estate, precious metals, stock market, all those extra stuff that I want to put the most bang for my buck. Because to be honest with you, I may have a physical physique right now, but if you factor in 40 years from now, I may not have the same ability to be able to work as much as I am right now. So I'm making sure I save as much as possible and live off as little as possible so I can live a wonderful future. My mentor always told me, hey Eli, listen, you have to be able to live below your means and also delayed gratification. Reason being is because successful people, they do what's uncomfortable now so they can live a comfortable life later. But unsuccessful people, they want to be comfortable now. And when old age comes, they're not living a comfortable life no more. So I don't know about you, but that's not how I want to live. All right, here. Let me get my iPad ready. It's not accepting my fingerprints. Put the password. So let's get the biggest expense out the way first. Rent. How much do I pay for rent? Well, to be honest with you, every month I pay around $1,300 for rent. So if you take $1,300 and you times that by 12, it actually gives you $15,600 for the whole year. Wow, that's half of the $30,000 gone just in rent, just like that. I mean, just like that. All right, but let's see, what else do I have? Now, if you factor in the light bill, which is $120, my Comcast bill, just internet, you know. The reason I'm able to do this, that comes up to $50 a month. My cell phone bill comes up to $109. Car insurance is $140. And also gas, I pay, me and my wife's car, $120 each and every month. And of course, you got to factor in the toll because I do take the tolls a lot. And that comes up to $40. And last but not least, my health insurance that comes out of my job for me and my wife is about $110. Each and every month, all right? So if you calculate all the major bills I have, that comes up to $8,268. Make sure I got that number right. All right, yes, yeah, of course, yeah, I'm the mathematician guy. So now we got rent out the way. Now we got all the major bills out the way. What else there is to do? I still got some more money left over, right? All right, so I take $20, and you guys may disagree with this, but I take $20 each and every month just to take care of like the cleaning stuff around the house, like soap, dishwashing soap, let's see, toilet paper, all those extra stuff that, and you guys may be asking, how am I able to do that with just $20 each and every month? Well, let me break it down for you guys. There's a company called the Dollar Tree. Each and every item within the Dollar Tree just costs $1. It doesn't matter what it is. It just costs $1. Yep, that's $1. That's $1. That's $1. That's $1. That's $1. You guys catch the drift. And who says money can't grow on trees? So each and every month I have $20 and I go to the Dollar Tree and I make sure I buy everything around for the house for that month. So if you take $20 and times that by 12, that comes up to $240. All right, that's not that much. I mean, you got to find a way to cut budgets, right? And I definitely found my way. All right, so now that we got rent and now that we got the major bills and how we get our daily perishables each and every month, now let's go over food. We haven't talked about food, right? Yeah, I starve myself. Me and my wife, we don't eat. We only eat once a week. That's it. Of course, you guys gonna believe that. I mess with you. No, we actually eat. So we took a budget and we say, hey, we have $300 each and every month and we have to make that work. That includes our snack and that includes all the extra stuff. What that don't include is, like, if we go out to eat. No, we don't factor that in at all. So if you take $300 and you times that by 12 for 12 months, you come up with $3,600. So now we have everything. We have rent, we have my daily consumables, we have food, and we also have all the major bills that we pay. What else is there to take advantage of? Well, if we calculate all that I told you, it comes up to $27,708 combined. That's how I live. I mean, the video's over, guys. I mean, have a good one. Wait. That's not 30,000, is it? I mean, this will be a clickbait, right? I said 30,000 and then it's lower than that. You guys may be wondering, hey, what about the extra 2,000? Well, if you want to be more specific, it's about $2,292. What is it that we do? Well, we have to have fun, right? We have to have fun. I have to take my family out sometimes, right? So if we actually take that $2,292 and then we divide that by 12, so that means we spend about $191 each and every month just on family leisure time. So in a nutshell, that's how me and my family is able to live off $30,000 each and every year. I mean, granted, of course, we have a 4-year-old daughter and a 2-year-old son, so they don't really need that much. So we're expecting that to go up with time. And something else my mentor always told me is your life is as simple as it is right now. So hopefully this video helps out. If it did, make sure you hit that thumbs up. It's really appreciated. And at the same time, this is just me showing you what I'm doing. And maybe you guys can get some ideas. That means I'm able to save $70,000 each and every year. Now you guys may want to know what I do with that money. How do I save? What do I do with the $70,000, right? Well, make sure you guys leave a thumbs up, and if we have enough thumbs up, I'll let you guys know that. Hey guys, Eli here, and on today's video, we're going to be talking about how you guys can create wealth for yourself and potentially change your life forever. So I'm going to show you guys 4 phases that you guys should focus on to actually create wealth. All right. Now, this is something that I've done, and right now I'll let you know at the end of this video what phase I'm currently on right now. Now, to be honest with you, and judging by the fact that I have no idea how this video is going to come out, but I do believe that this video is a very important video that you guys should really listen to. But at the same time, I already know, out of every 100 person that actually watched this video, you may just find one that actually tries to do the program. And out of maybe every 500 people that actually watch this video, you may find actually one that actually accomplished and completes this program. Because to be honest with you, success, if you want to talk about success, that's hard. That's hard work. When people ask me, hey Eli, I want to build a YouTube channel, how did you do it? I said, hey, I uploaded a video for the first 2 years of my YouTube career. I uploaded one video each and every day. And some of them said, hey, that's easy. And then they try it and they realize, oh my gosh, this thing is actually hard. Now, by all means, everything I'm gonna say is gonna sound easy until you try it and you realize, hey man, this is gonna take a little bit longer than I expected. This is gonna be a little bit hard. Now it's up to you at that point to be like, you know what? I wanna change in my life and I want to actually try this and actually finish this. Not just try, I wanna do this and accomplish this and go through it. Or you can say, hey, you know what? I'll give it a try. It doesn't work out. All right, let me just continue doing whatever I was doing before because this is too hard. So let's get into it. We have 4 phases and an extra bonus that should be done throughout all the phases. All right. So let's go into phase 1, and that is income. If you don't have the income, then that means you don't have the fuel that it will take to put the fire in your wealth creation machine. So when you're focused on your income, the first question you need to ask yourself is, do I have more income than I have expense? Now, once you write all that down, if you realize that you do not have more income than you do expenses, then you are stuck in phase 1. You cannot go beyond phase 1. Me personally, I was stuck in phase 1 for 10 years, but I didn't know I was stuck in that phase. I didn't even know what that phase was. I was just stuck in there saying, oh, whoa, it's me. There's got to be a better way out there. There's just got to be. And then I got the answer. Not from me, from a millionaire friend that took the time to invest his time and knowledge into me. Never asked him for a penny, never gave me a penny, but he gave me millions of dollars worth of information. So you write down your whole entire income and you write down all your monthly expenses. And then you have to ask yourself the question, do I have more income than I do expenses? The more income that you have, the better. Now, this is the part of your life when you're like, hey, you know what? Let me look at all my expenses. Do I really need this? Can I live without this? All right, let me take that away. Let me cut down this bill. All right, what can I do to get this bill a little bit lower? Just so I can free up some income, so I can free up some cash to have. Now, if you've done that and you realize, hey, you know what? I'm still not getting by. I still don't have the amount of income. I still have more expenses than I do income. Then you have to look at something else. You may have to get your income or get your money game up by switching to another job, getting more money than what you're receiving right now. Oh, yeah. That's a tough one. That's really a tough one because really you're going to have to switch industries. You may have to go get out of your comfort zone. Now, you can stay there and just deal with that, or you can just go through the growing pains and just get out your comfort zone and go ahead and do that. Or you can go ahead and see if you can start up your side hustle, get a side business. But until you have that mastered, you are stuck in phase one. And if you can't figure that out, then you don't even have to watch the rest of this video because you can't go into phase two. And phase two being budgeting. You can't properly budget if you don't have the right income to satisfy your budget needs. So you can't leave phase one and go into phase two until you master phase one. So let's go into phase two. Like I said before, budget. Now, budget builds discipline. Budget builds discipline, the discipline you need to make sure, hey, you know what? You can control your impulse buying. Hey, you know what? Maybe I won't go for that $5 cup of coffee every day. I'll figure out a way to live life on a budget. Now, when you're setting up a budget, you take all your monthly expenses, you write it down. You see, now that you're in phase two, you have the right amount of income to set a proper budget. Now, instead of saying, hey, I make $1,000 a month, I'm gonna take $500 or $600 or $700, and that's gonna be my budget on a month-to-month basis. And then I'm gonna take the rest and I'm just gonna save that. Now, what you wanna do is when you're budgeting, make sure you budget in your debt too. You wanna make sure you pay that off, whether it be $100, whether it be $50. I don't care if it's just $10, as long as you budget in that debt. And also, when you're writing down your budget, I want you to do the first thing. Before you put down your bills, before you write down all your expenses, the first thing that you should put is pay yourself first. And that's a personal bill to you that you're gonna write. You're gonna pay yourself first and be like, hey, I'm dedicating $10, $100, all right? I'm dedicating this amount of money to paying myself first, and I'm gonna keep that right there. Then I'm gonna put the bills, the rent, all that, blah, 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 all that. Now, once you have all that, you have to stick with that budget and try to stick with it for the next 6 months. Don't cut corners on yourself now. The reason I say 6 months is so you can build that proper habit. Like, once you have that habit, like anything that comes, it's gonna be hard to actually break that habit. You're gonna be like, oh, no, you know what? No, I only have $700 a month to actually set aside. Nope. Now, once you have that, you're good. But now you wanna make sure you're able to do that for the next 6 months. All right. And not just, hey, 6 months and okay, I'm done. I did it for 6 months. Let me go ahead and go spend crazy. No, that's just to build the proper habit for you. And then going on after 6 months, you can go to the next phase. But until you master that for the next 6 months, you guessed it, you cannot get out of phase two. Now, you can be stuck in phase two for even long, maybe even 2 years, 3 years. But until you master that budget for 6 months straight, and you feel confident in yourself to actually go to the next phase, and you're like, yeah, you know what, I got this mastered. I'm confident in myself. I have budget mastered. Then you can go into the next phase. Now, the next phase may be a little bit hard for a lot of people, and that is building up your emergency fund. 6 months, at least 6 months of your entire expenses in a month, you have that saved up for 6 months. Unless you have a huge amount of income to pour into that, it's gonna take you a little bit long time. It's hard enough to budget your expenses for 1 month, and now you have to build an account where you have to have your entire 1 month of expenses in an account times 6. Again, until you have that, you cannot properly go into phase 4. Now, of course, you can go into the next phase and not have the 6 months worth of emergency fund, but let's say you go into the next phase and then something happens where you lose your job, or hey, you have nothing. Now, that right there can set you back drastically, because now you don't have enough money to take care of your expenses. You have to make sure you pay the rent, you have to make sure you feed the family, you gotta make sure you put food and a roof over your head. Well, not the food part, but the roof over your head, and food in your mouth. Something like that can potentially knock you all the way back. All your hard work, your budgeting, all of that can kick you back all the way back to step one, and you have to start all over. So, like I said, you can go to the next phase without building your emergency fund, but that is a risk that you're willing to take. But let's go into phase 4, and that is invest and build a second source of income. All right? Invest and build your second source of income. Now, for me personally, I have my savings account. I have about 12 months worth of emergency funds. Unless I'm saving for like a house or a car or a vacation, I'm not saving any more money outside of that. That's my emergency fund. That's the only cash I'm gonna save. Because honestly, when you're saving money, we all know inflation is gonna go high. You're gonna lose money in the long run. So I don't save beyond my 6 months worth of emergency. But what I do is invest. I invest. Now, this takes research. I don't just hope, okay, you know what? Everybody's talking about Bitcoin. Let me just go ahead and dump money into Bitcoin. Oh, what? People's talking about precious metals. Let me take my money and put it into precious metals. What? What stock? Tesla? Nikola? Okay, cool. Let me just take my money. Don't know nothing about the company and then dump the money in there. No, I had to do my proper research. Guys, if you guys get nothing from this video, you guys should get a lot from this video. Forget what I was about to say. But if by some case you get nothing from this video, always do your research on any investment that you're gonna do. Make sure that you have to do enough research to be like, oh snap, you know what? You can't wait. Here, take my money now. Until you feel that confident in an investment, then no, you shouldn't. Now let's go into build the second source of income. Now, if you build the second source of income, this should practically bulletproof you from your job. If anything happens, you get injured, let's say they get laid off, or let's say a pandemic happens and that job is no longer around, you have a second source of income backed by an emergency fund to make sure, hey, maybe you're able to go for a good 8 months, 12 months, a year and a half. And with the help of online technology, there's so much ways to make money outside of a job. And you guys would have to do it again. Do the proper research. Look at something you like doing, whether it be making a YouTube channel, whether it be selling stuff on Amazon, whatever it may be, figure it out and start on it, work on it. Now, let's say you did that and you have that done and you start investing, you learn how to do the research and you learn how to get a second source of income. What is it that you do after you have all that done? You're stuck in phase 4, right? There's no other phase. You just keep on going. You keep that going, all right? You got a second source of income. All right, cool. You invest a little bit more and you work on a third source of income. Once you got that done, you invest a little bit more. You work on a fourth source of income. And at the same time, you work on building the first one, and to the point where, hey, you may not even need your job no more. You're like, hey, you know what? I'm out of there. I don't want to deal with the stress and all that. Now, right now, I'm currently on phase 4. Now, the reason I say that is because I'm stuck in a dilemma right now, to be honest with you. I'm stuck in a dilemma. Me and my wife has been talking, and I've been talking around and asking people, and I was like, hey, I want to leave my job and just be a full-time dad, full-time entrepreneur. Just leave the job. And I was like, hey, you know what? I have 12 months worth of emergency funds saved up. I have another savings for me trying to buy my house. And I have a lot in investments. I don't think I need the job. And on top of that, my secondary source of income and my third source of income surpasses my job, the money that my job gives me, tenfold. Now, right now, it's just me being greedy because, of course, more money is better than less money. I'm just trying to find the right time. Like, hey, you know what? Hey, more money. I'm just grabbing more money because the more money I have, the more money I can just throw into investments, right? So that's my dilemma right there. But hey, like I told you, it took me 10 years to get out of phase 1. But it actually took me 2 years from when I realized, hey, I'm in phase 1 to get out of phase 1. And it actually took me 6 months to get out of phase 2, the budgeting phase. And phase 3, I started that when I was in phase 1. But yeah, I know you can't get out of there. You can't get out of phase 1. You can't get out of phase 2 and go to phase 3 until you finish the first prior phases, right? Correct. But at the same time, I was always saving money. I was always saving money within phase 1. Once I realized, like, hey, you know what? hey, just in case I need to put cash aside. Now, when I got to phase 3, that's when I was able to solely focus on phase 3. But throughout the whole phases, I was always saving money, and I just decided, hey, you know what? Now let's just focus on that right now. Now I have enough, let's just focus on phase 3. Currently, I'm in phase 4 times 2. I have one source of income, and now I'm just working on the second source of income. Now, there's one thing that you need throughout all the phases. This is the glue. Listen to me now. This is the glue to the entire phase. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. This is what keeps them together, all right? I'm gonna give you guys a secret. Education and association, all right? Education and association. You have to educate yourself in what you're trying to do. You need to have people that's in your field or people that's doing what you want to do and associate with them and get education. Certain stuff that you want to know what those millionaires have. Listen to me, guys. I paid $3,000 to associate with somebody for the next 2 years. A millionaire. I invested $3,000 to associate with a millionaire, multi-millionaire, just so I can have him in my back pocket. If I have any questions about anything, I can actually hit him up, send him a message, and within the next 24 hours, he'll get back to me. And also, he created a platform where we all can communicate with each other. So if I have any questions, I can't get it from him. I'm seeing this guy who's probably 2 steps, 3 steps ahead of me, and I'm just following. He's giving me some advice on what he's doing, and I'm like, hey, cool. Let me jot that down. So I'm learning. I'm still in the... I'll never stop being a student. I'll never stop education. And I always want to associate with the people that has what I want. And that's why I created a Discord so you guys can associate. Now, let's be honest. I'm not a millionaire. So why would you guys want to listen to me? I'm not a millionaire. I'm just a guy who retired his wife and who has the option to leave his job and who has this much in investment, or who has 12 months in emergency funds. I mean, you guys don't want that. I mean, wait. All right. Not sounding like I'm bragging, but I am not bragging. I am somebody. I am a role model for my 20-year-old self. I wish I had me right now to look up to. Not bragging. I'm not saying you guys should look up to me. Not saying all that. I'm just saying I wish I had somebody in my life at the age of 20 or at the age of 25, heck, at the age of 27. I wish I had somebody in my life that has maybe not $1 million. Of course, we all want $1 million, but hey, if he has $100,000, how did you get there? Because maybe that $1 million is a bit of a stretch, but that 100,000, I can see that. Let me get to that level. All right. Hey, once I get to that level, let's say I have $100 million. All right. How much you have? $100 million still? I went and got to your level still? All right, cool. Thank you for everything you've done. It's time for me to go on to the next person. All right. How to get 500 million. So I'm saying association and education is very key. Always associate. You want to create an environment for yourself, an environment conducive to growth. All right, that's the kind of environment. And if you want to be part of that environment, I do have a Discord. Check out the pinned comment down below and associate with some people who wants to get stuff done, whether it be precious metal, stock market, motivation, right then and there. But that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. If you guys found value in this video, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and leave a thumbs up. And also consider becoming a member of this channel if you guys want to have access to some great information that will help your life for the better. Yes, this video is over, but the conversation does not have to be. Make sure you guys go to the Urban Wealth Creation Discord and chat with me there.